back to Boston for a seventh.
It wouldn't be April without a disappointing Caps loss now, would it? And it wouldn't be April without a Game 7 now, would it? I mean, whew. Let's get right into it. Hello, and welcome to the DC Sports Show. It's been a while. Sorry, mainly because I'm an idiot when it comes to technology. I have this sweet high-def microphone, and I have all this cool programs and stuff, and I really don't know what I'm doing with any of it, so it actually just ruined me for a while, and I do need to get back to talking to everybody. So here we are. We kind of skipped some things, but we are at the end of April, and it is Stanley Cup playoff time, and the Caps are got themselves in a little bit of a tizzy with the defending Stanley Cup champion Boston Bruins, and we are going to Game 7. It wouldn't be a Cap series without it going 7 games now. But in their defense, this is a team that really stumbled throughout the whole season with all kinds of problems, coaching changes, line changes, goalie changes, philosophical changes. I mean, these guys were all over the place. And when the pairings came out, not a lot of people gave these guys a chance. They got the defending champion Boston Bruins, a strong team. At least 5, maybe 6 20-goal scorers. All 4 of their forward lines are extremely deep. They got a great goaltender, all the experience, home ice. But the Caps, believe it or not, have been playing with some guts this year. I mean, these guys, I don't know if it's the coach. I don't know if it's them listening to the media saying how they're choking dogs every year. But they're playing playoff hockey for the first time I can remember. I'm sure they played some sort when I was a little kid back in the mid-'80s, but had no results to show for that either. I mean, for example, Alexander Semin is playing well enough that he should be in the nominations if they pull something off on Wednesday to be the MVP of this series. He's blocking shots. Alexander Semin doesn't block shots. Alexander Semin, usually the guy out there disappearing, either no shots, you forgot he was on the team. I mean, complete disappearing act. And this guy has proven it every game this series. He's blocking shots, he's playing defense, he's back-checking, he's getting in. I mean, he's hustling. And when this guy's hustling, they're a completely different team. Because they're going to put Zdeno Chara out there and Seidenberg out there to cover everything Ovi does, and they now got to worry about Semin and Backstrom, and they're a completely different team. They're getting tough. The penalty kill has been great. They've been hard to get to the net. They're protecting Braden Holtby. How about Braden Holtby? I mean, this guy's been on the team for about 20 minutes now, and he is just doing things. He's standing on his head, as the hockey folk like to say. I think this has been a very even series. I think the Caps got their attention in Game 1. They didn't win Game 1, but I think after Game 1, the Caps kind of set the tone and said, hey, you're not going to run all over us just because we're the 7th seed. We still got some talent here, and they have fought their way back. They've gone 2-1 in games in Boston. They've gone 1-2 at home, but Game 7 is in Boston. So, unlike previous years, 2009, great team. These guys were blowing people up. They were the 1 seed. You know, they go 7 games with the Rangers, then they play this huge game series with the Penguins, and everybody thought it was their year. All the pressure, they wilted under the pressure in Game 7 at home. Next year, they're even better. President's Trophy winners, best record in the league, taking on the meager number 8 Montreal Canadiens, losing 7. Last year, just they didn't even have the heart to play Tampa Bay in the second round. They just got swept. Also as the President's Trophy winners. I mean, they seem to falter when it comes to this. But these guys are playing hard. And I think some of that has to do with people, they don't have expectations on their shoulders. I think there's something to it. You know, nobody gave the Caps a chance in this series. I heard some people say it might go 7, but I didn't really hear anybody saying that the Caps were going to come out and beat the Bruins. I sure didn't. But there is one more game to play, and as we know, Game 7 and the Washington Capitals don't usually mix very well. Let's just hope. I mean, so many of the heartbreakers, so many of the Game 7s have been at home and just gut-wrenching, rip-your-heart-out losses. I mean, I can remember 87, and I can remember 88, and I can remember 92 and 93 when we were up 3-1 against the Penguins, and I remember losing to the Penguins in Game 7 in 2009 and losing in Game 7 to the Canadiens in 2010, and it's just, it starts to give you a complex, and I think this team has kind of shaken that a little bit off of them. You know, they're not expected to win this series, so the pressure, I think, is more on the Bruins. And who knows, I might be just completely full of shit, and the Bruins are completely fine with this because they've done this before. They won the whole damn thing last year. But Braden Holtby, the lights have not been too bright for him. He has handled this amazingly. Michael Neuvirth, training camp next year, you have some competition, sir. Again. The defense, Alzner and Carlson seem to be getting it back together. You know, the addition of John Erskine late in this series has changed things. He's given him a presence. He's given him more physicality. They seem to be a lot more fluid on defense. Mike Green is getting the puck back up into the zone, creating more shots, creating more rebounds, just making the offense more dynamic, and we haven't seen that from him all year. I talked about Semin. Ovechkin, even though he has had some good games in the series, but he's been a little inconsistent. But I mean, he runs the show. So as far as he goes, the Caps go, and they've been able to handle it even when he's had a bad game. Mike Knuebel's played really well. Guys who haven't really played well, in my opinion, Dennis Weidman's been a little shaky. Roman Hamrlik, he seems a little slow. Those guys seem to worry me a little bit on the ice. But Johansson's look good. Backstrom's look good. I mean, they've been physical. They're not letting the Bruins push them around, and that's what they need to do. So tomorrow night in Boston, it's important to get the first goal. I think if they get the first goal, they're going to have tons of momentum. They're going to have Boston a little bit on their heels. And if they can get that first goal tomorrow night, they can win this game. I mean, obviously, they are not the odds-on favorite to win the game, but going back since the lockout, in the modern era of hockey, as they like to say, the home team is only 500 in Game 7s. So take that for what it's worth. But hopefully the Caps can move on, because you don't usually say this in a first-round series, but both teams deserve to win this series. I mean, they've been 6 hard-fought games. Not one team has looked better than the other team. And I think this is also a series where you can say the winner of each game deserved to win. Nobody has stolen anything in this series. Game 1 went to Boston. Game 2 went to us. Deservedly so, both of them. The game's at the Verizon Center. Boston played a better Game 3. They were more physical. They got more pucks to the net. They rattled Holtby a little bit for the first time. Game 4, we did the same thing to Thomas. We scored early. We scored quickly. We established our presence. Ovi threw a check, got a goal early. We deserved that game. Game 5 would be the only game that you might be able to say we stole one, but I still think the Caps deserved to win that game. They were more physical in that game as well. Holtby stood on his head, has had some amazing saves. The penalty kill was great. Game 6, Boston played better. I think the Caps had better chances, but I think Boston overall, they were more physical. They played a more sound game, and it's going to be fun. And I hope the Capitals don't do what they did in 2009, and that's shit the bed within the first 5 minutes of the game. I don't want them to play super uber tight like they did in Game 7 against the Canadiens, where they were just praying not to lose. I thought they played way too tight in that game. They were just blasting shots from 30 yards away, 30 feet away. If they play their game, limit the turnovers. For God's sake, don't turn the puck over. Mike Green, Roman Hamrlik, Dennis Weidman, don't turn the puck over. Don't take dumb penalties. Alexander Semin, Troy Brouwer, talking to you. Play a smart game. Don't let them get in your heads. Don't cause fights. Don't let them instigate. Play your game, and Washington has a good chance to win this. They have a good chance. And if you look at the Eastern Conference, if they can get by Boston, we got the Rangers are in a Game 7. The Panthers and Devils, they're still going at it. We could technically have a series with the Philadelphia Flyers next round. Don't tell me that wouldn't be fun. Flyers, Caps, semifinals, that'd be fun. We could also see the Devils. We could see the Devils if Ottawa pulls off some stuff. We could play the Devils. So I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and I think these are all teams. I mean, we might be facing the best goalie in the Eastern Conference that's left. I mean, I feel good about this. If they get past this, the Capitals are in it for real. And this is a big speed bump they're getting by if they can do this. So best luck to the Caps. I hope they do it. I'm a lifelong fan. I've been watching them all since Home Team Sports. But it's hard to shake the heartbreak. So hopefully we have some good fortune, and we get to keep watching some hockey into the month of May. So that's about it for the Caps. We're going to get into the NFL draft when we come back. It's the DC Sports Show.